What's up everybody? In this video I'm going to build this miter station. This thing has been on the list of things to do for quite a while, so I am very glad that it is finally built. I designed it so that it would be nice and sturdy, simple, easy to build, but also relatively inexpensive. So it's mostly just 2x4s and a couple sheets of plywood, but it is very sturdy, very even. You'll see one side is longer than the other. So this side is 6 feet and that side is a little bit short of 3 feet. The reason I did that is because that gives me a greater maximum on one side. If I put the saw right in the middle, I'd have two shorter sides. So this gives me a little bit more flexibility in what I can work with. You'll see there's no fence. I don't think a miter station needs a fence. It just gets in the way. If you have curved, wonky pieces, the fence just gets in the way and prevents you from being able to make a nice straight cut over here. This is the only section that matters anyway. Have some stop blocks. Built these out of some walnut I had sitting around. It's on some T-tracks so that it can slide, tighten down, nice and sturdy. Make repeatable length cuts on both sides. Built a hood around the saw to catch sawdust, keep things a little bit cleaner. Little hook for the hose, make that easy to grab. I haven't put the storage in yet. I designed it so that I can put that in later when I decide for certain exactly what I want to put down there. This I'm probably going to leave open. I'll probably put like a vertical slide out shelf here so that I can hang saw blades and stuff inside. Right here I'll have some regular drawers. And over here maybe I'll put some slide out shelves. I don't know, we'll see. But I'm going to do that later. I just wanted to get the bench built so that I can use it. This will make the workflow much better. It's sitting on some leveling feet so that it's, very level, very even. But these things are also casters. Even though this thing's not going to move, I kind of have a general rule around the workshop that I like things to be able to move if I need them to. So right now they're just leveling feet, and if you lower it far enough, it'll sit on the wheel and I can easily move it around. So let's get into the build. I wanted this bench to be functional and sturdy, yet relatively inexpensive. I'd rather not spend $800 on a bench when I can build one that'll do the exact same thing for $200. So it's mostly built out of 2x4s. I picked up a whole bunch of 8-foot studs at the local big box store, and a couple sheets of plywood, 3/4 inch for the tabletop, and 1/2 inch for the shelves and the saw hood. Here I'm using 2.5 inch pocket hole screws to build these frames that are going to be the legs of the bench. Pocket hole screws create a nice strong joint, and they are super easy and quick to use. I also use them to attach the tabletop to the frame, and I'll touch on that again here in a little bit. I try not to talk too much throughout the video. I'll jump in and add commentary where I think some explanation would be helpful. But let me know in the comments if you have any questions, if anything's unclear. Maybe you want some more commentary. Maybe it's just, hey Dan, you talk too much. I'm just here for the video. Let me know. I will do my very best to respond. As I mentioned, I used pocket hole screws to attach the bench top to the frame. I used 1.5-inch screws to go from the 2x4s into the 3/4-inch plywood, and this way the top stays nice and smooth with no screw head showing. As you probably noticed, I didn't include the construction of the shorter bench in the video, and this is because it is identical to the larger bench, just with different dimensions. So this design could really be customized to fit any desired length. To position the saw, I rigged up this contraption using some short 2x4s and a bunch of clamps, and it actually worked really well. This way I could raise and lower the saw precisely until it was level and flush with the bench top. I did initially leave the saw table just a hair below the bench top. This was just to give me a little bit of wiggle room for any movement that could occur when I was screwing in the table into the benches. And then I used some playing cards to shim the saw table up nice and flush with the bench top. To build the hood for the saw, I just cut some 1/2-inch plywood and joined it all with some brad nails and screwed it into the bench. Pretty simple, but it will catch a lot of sawdust and keep things a bit cleaner. To install the T-track, I added some 2x4 pieces on the underside of the bench top right below the track to drive the screws into. With the bench top being 3/4-inch plywood, once the groove for the T-track is cut, that doesn't leave very much material left to hold the screws. So with these extra pieces, it'll hold it nice and snug. Once everything was in place, I used some playing cards for some fine adjustment to shim the saw table up nice and flush with the bench top. Here I'm just cutting some rails into the stop blocks that will slide along the T-track. Once they fit nicely, all that was left to do was chamfer the edges, sand it down, and install the T-track hardware. And once the stop blocks were installed, it was done. If you liked this video, please hit that like button, and if you want to see more, click subscribe. Thanks for watching.